This morning, we are visiting probably one of my most favorite places here in the States, and that is the National World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. It's a memorial to all of those men and women who served during World War II in so many different conflicts all over the world. So this morning, I want to take you there and show you the National World War II Memorial in person. So let's go and let's experience Washington, D.C. and World War II history together. All right, for reasons pretty obvious, this is my most favorite place, probably in the United States. And this is the National World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. So here inside of the memorial, you have all of the state names from all states representing the men and women who served during the war from each and every place. And it is usually got a fountain in the middle, huge two fountains in the middle, and then a reflecting wall here resembling, in my opinion, tears of all the sacrifices that were made during the war. But they have the water turned off. Obviously, they're still doing some construction here, which is great, improving this project. But this is no doubt one of the coolest places, in my opinion, in the U.S. And on this side, you have the Atlantic. On that side, right over there, is usually the Pacific, representing both of the theaters of conflict during World War II. And then you've got quotes here from Harry S. Truman. The heroism of our own troops was matched by that of the armed forces of the nations that fought by our side, that absorbed the blows, and they shared to the full the ultimate destruction of the enemy. And that was a quote by Harry S. Truman, president. And this is pretty neat. The price of freedom. This wall holds 4,048 gold stars representing the American dead and missing from World War II. In total, there were 405,399 American dead and missing. And these 4,048 gold stars kind of help represent the price of freedom, which is marked. Here we mark the price of freedom in front of this reflecting pool. Usually this is water trickling down, representing tears for the Gold Star families. But I've got the water shut off because of, obvious reasons. It's wintertime. But yeah, they've even got one to the Virgin Islands, Philippines, Puerto Rico, which is usually missing from being remembered, and they didn't let that happen here. So pretty cool. American Samoa, Guam, Hawaii, District of Columbia, all of that's there. A lot of people don't think about the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., that is, as far as being a state, but it actually is. And then at the base of the Pacific Theater, you got the Central Pacific, North Pacific, and Southeast or West Pacific, and the names of places like Japan, Okinawa, Iwo Jima, Manila, Luzon, Leyte Gulf, Peleliu, Philippine Sea, Tinian, Guam, Saipan, Attu, Kowloon, Tarawa. Just all of these places that have become synonymous with World War II history, where these men fought. And pretty cool place.
In 2004 we completed it, and some of the things about it we can point out. We take a look at the we have the Atlantic side, Pacific side. On the Atlantic side, the plaques over there represent both home front and then activities associated with the war, more on the European front. Pacific side, same thing. The Island War, home front. The states are organized by how they were admitted to the Union. So Delaware, number 1, Pennsylvania, so on. Top 13, based on ratification of the Constitution, then the rest is as they join the Union. The columns, we have the eagles ascending, the symbolic of the victory, and they're carrying the wreath, the symbol of peace. Underneath them, we can't see from here, but it's a medallion. You can take a picture of it later, but it's a medallion, and we have Nike, the goddess of victory, and she's stamping on the god of war, Mars, the god of war. The wreaths alternate between oak and wheat, oak being the strength of the oak, and wheat being the arsenal of democracy. The wheat being the breadbasket of the world. So that's why we have oak, wheat, oak, wheat. At the very end, we have the territories that were territories of the United States at the time of World War II. People always wonder if this side was the Philippines, and at the time of World War II, the Philippines was a U.S. territory. In the mid-1950s, we gave Philippines their independence, and so. But at the time of World War II, it was a U.S. territory. One of the most powerful things, just to pick one most powerful thing to me, is the quote here. On December 8th, FDR goes before Congress and has to ask Congress to declare war on Japan. And of course, at that time, he's broadcasted that request on the radio. And so a famous Day of Infamy speech.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
So here's the Day of Infamy speech. And people are gathered around the radio. They know by this time that Japan has attacked Pearl Harbor. And I always think this plaque is so telling. We have the older family members, and they've probably have lived through World War I. Maybe the man has even served in World War I, so they've been through a massive, awful war. So they know what it means for these family members. The younger men know that they're probably going to be called to serve. Now, the Selective Service Act had already been enacted, but now with war, we know that that act is going to be more aggressive. They're going to feel compelled to join and get involved in the war. The wives, of course, are terribly concerned. The children, they know that something. Children sense tension, and this little guy, I think he really senses the tension that's going on as they all listen to the speech, and they know that something dramatic for each of them is going to happen. The worry of the children, of their children going to war, the worry of the spouse of their husband going to war, and then the children just sensing the tension of it. And to me, it's a funny thing, in this whole monument, the personal side of war, to me, is so reflected between FDR's speech and the request for declaration of war on this little plaque.
All right, guys, so that is the National World War II Memorial here in Washington, D.C. Yeah, if you ever have a chance to come visit this place, well, come do it. So, and let's continue our trek in Washington, D.C., and we'll see you on the next episode.